Welcome everybody to another Voice of Nick show. We're doing more of our Posthomerica art. We're on chapter 2 here, and we're kind of polishing the MEMNON sketch. We're going to have one more phase of design after this, but I think we're in the right direction at least. So let's start it off here. I'm kind of basing these pants on a design that I see in a picture of MEMNON in a piece of Greek art, and we'll sort of use that because we're not using a lot from it. This scarf thing and this are really the only parts. Okay, so all right, looks good. Now, we got to get the leg paints in there. And I think I might not give him any further cloth things on his legs. So that might be the extent of that. And that's probably for the best. Now I love the really thick line that we used for his war paint. So let's do that again. That looks pretty cool. Alright. It could be kind of cool to give him... There's a piece on the picture of Memnon that I'm looking at. The piece of pottery. There's like a shield band thing that he's using to hold up his shield. But I think it could be cool to just make that into a piece of jewelry of some kind. Cool. Good. One thing I wanted to change was, number one, his the scarf was not going over this, which bothered me. And number two, his neck is a little bit thin. And also his head. Okay. All right. I'll leave that. This, I think, is mostly fine. We made a lot of big changes to this character design. I like where we ended up. We certainly got a lot of simplification in there, which is good. Okay. Let me look at my reference here for this guy's shield that I'm using. I'm kind of basing this off of a real tribal shield design. And maybe we could try to get a couple of little swirly things in there. I always like a good swirly thing. Yeah, that's cool. Didn't expect that to work, but it did. Alright, so we're going to get this whole design in here. I guess this one will follow the same design as the one on his left hand, even though it's a different piece, I assume. Let's get a symmetrical. Actually, no, I think the interesting part of these patterns is that they're not usually symmetrical. So let's put some kind of other design on his other arm. This is symmetrical, but I guess we'll have a little bit of both. Okay. There's a nice little, let's see if we can get this as well. Yeah, it's great. All right. Kind of gives it the impression that it's like a monster opening its mouth. You know, it's like it's sideways. Like this is right side up, and it has like 8 eyes, and it's opening its mouth. Kind of a cool look. All right. I would like to just make his whatever you call that part, not a bicep, forearm, sip, a little bigger. And then his bicep too, I guess. Okay, we're arriving at a pretty cool concept design. This is off as well. The anatomy is not as important in this kind of drawing because they didn't really use musculature in like a literal way, but we want to at least adjust it a little bit. Okay, so let's get rid of that. That's looking pretty cool. Yeah, let's put a couple more dots up here to reach the top. We can probably make this a little thicker. Some of the shapes that are too small, I feel like wouldn't really... No, that's too thick. That's fine. Oh, and I wanted to change his torso a little bit. I feel like we might need to make it a little bigger so that it fits. Okay, now it's about to be jarring here because what we're going to do is we've been looking at this inverted the whole time. Now we're going to change it to its actual color scheme, and we might not like it at all once it's in the correct configuration. We drew this originally in black because we want to be able to see what we're doing, but all of the lines that are currently black will be white. Oh, we turned the wrong thing into a... And let's just go check that that's correct. Let's use one of these. Actually, it doesn't matter if it's correct because we're going to change the color of it. Okay, so now we just want to fill this in with black, not because we are finishing the picture, but because we want to see how it looks. This is like our final test before we do the final line art. And I figure we're going to use red highlights just like we did with Achilles. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think it looks great. I think we got a good mix where he's still in sort of like a pose that would be made on Greek pottery. He has certain Greek elements to his clothes, but he also clearly has his own cultural elements as well, which is something that was missing in our original version, which was based on, a Greek depiction of him. And that was this. This is the original one. And there's really no sort of like unique aspects. It's definitely a cool look, but it's also not really our design. We don't want to just use it. So we used a couple of little pieces from that, like the scarf and the pants, but we added in a bunch of other things. We changed his shield, changed everything, really. I think it looks good, so let's keep going. Now we want to make the circle, so let's just move him up into the thing, and we're still on like the proto design here where we're going to redo the line art, but next time when we redo the line art, it's going to be like a truly fast, like we're going to just copy what we have now exactly. We're probably going to want to make his spearhead a little bit smaller. Oops. I guess we could do that now. I'd rather if it didn't come out of the thing, but it works. I was concerned too because his head is so low in this other one. How are we going to account for him not having a helmet on now? It's going to look like he's too short. But it worked out. Okay, so now we'll just fix his line art. Or actually, we're going to change back the art so that we can see what we're doing. And in the same vein, we're going to just create a junk layer that essentially just removes the old MEMNON so that we can see everything that we did up till now. So let's just fill this with something. Good. Now, we just want to come up with some more interesting, you can see that these are made out of like shapes, computer shapes, and maybe we could have some like, oops. Something like that inside of there. Yeah, you know, that's actually a good idea. So let's make a circle. Come on. And there it goes. Good. So it looks like this circle we had was not completely right at the time. Or maybe ours currently is not, but we're fine. Okay, so now we're going to do this. We're going to copy it. And we just want to make one for every instance where we need one. And we got to get rid of the original design here so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so we want to match first we want a space that's large enough to have a little design in it. Probably a little bigger than that then. So it doesn't really matter that he doesn't fit in it, because we can change the size of this entire thing once we get the proportions right. I liked it being a little more cramped, like a claustrophobic circle. Let's make it a little smaller. good. And then maybe the sunburst things will come out of the, or like cover the border. What is in this picture besides this? Hold on. So this is just this. This has something in it. Could it be this? Nope. Oh, is it this? Yeah. Now this should be able to be centered. Vertically, at least. We'll have to do a similar operation for horizontal. But for now, that's fine. But that's not what we want. So for this, we should probably just try and make the actual circle. I don't think we're going to need to redo this. So we're getting there. Let's give it a save. And that's going to do it, ladies and gents, for this one. Thank you for joining. The channel is called The Voice of Nick. If you want to see more, don't forget to hit the follow button, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.